Brian, the singular distinction here is Yellen codified the word slack of an America unemployed. That is not the case now. Powell's Fed is roughly a fully employed America. How will the president listen to these two about jobs in America in this horrific inflation?
Well, he'll listen to them and he'll underscore his core point, which is that he intends to provide the Fed with the space and the independence that it needs to operate. As you all know, he has nominated a quality slate of people, including at the top of that slate, Chair Powell, to lead the Federal Reserve through this challenging time, and he intends to give them the space to operate. But we are in an environment, a unique environment, and we have unique economic strengths right now, the job market and the labor market being chief among them, but not the only one. Household balance sheets are in a very strong position because over the course of this recovery, Americans have been able to save more and pay down debt. We're seeing business creation, small business creation up at record levels. So we have unique economic strengths which position us well now to focus on this challenge, which is bringing prices down. Obviously, the Federal Reserve plays a primary role in that, but fiscal policy and the economic choices that we make with Congress play an important role as well. All of that will be on the table today.
Brian, let's talk about that meeting today and whether it's anything more than a photo op, given that you've said you don't want to comment on Fed policy, the Fed doesn't want to comment on fiscal policy. What is the purpose of today, if it's not just a photo op? What do you discuss? What comes out of it? How does it help Americans? And you've seen the polls yourself. 65% of adults say their family's income is falling behind the cost of living. So a lot of people looking at this, it feels just like a photo op. For Americans struggling right now, they want more than just that. Is it more than that?
Absolutely. A couple things. The first is it's standard practice for presidents and chairs of the Federal Reserve to meet from time to time to share views on the economy. In this case, secondly, the president is underscoring something important. The respect for the independence of the Fed as an institution is not something that we can take for granted. It's not something that prior presidents have done to re-underwrite that independence. And so doing so, having the president do so in a public way, and underscore that he is committed to making sure that the Federal Reserve as an independent institution can operate is incredibly important at this moment. And it's not just about a photo op, it's about sending that signal clearly to the public. And number three, they have a president, the American people, those who are feeling anxious, and absolutely understand that when people go to the gas pump or to the grocery store, they are feeling anxious. They have a president who is waking up in the morning and focused on how to address that challenge. And one of the things he can do is, in his position, underscore the independence of the Federal Reserve. So I think for all of those reasons, this is an important step in the process, not the only step, and we are going to remain focused, and over the course of the next week and the week after that, we'll focus on the steps that we can take to help try to address price increases as well.
One thing under discussion, and we know this from several reports, and we've talked about this previously, Brian, is student debt relief. The White House considering something up to $10,000. There are people without a college degree wondering why those with a college degree are getting this help. I'll go through the numbers and then I'll ask for your response. So the latest research from Pew points out that 4 in 10 Americans aged 25 or older have a bachelor's degree or higher. Among that, as you know, for Black American adults, for Hispanic adults, that number is much, much lower than 4 in 10. You also know there's a growing earnings gap between those who have a college degree and those who do not. The unemployment rate is lower for those that have a college degree compared to those who do not. So the question, Brian, that people are asking if they don't have a college degree right now is, who is that to help? Who are you doing that for? Why are you considering doing that? Who's it for, other than just energizing the base going into the midterms later this year?
Well, first, we should be trying to help everybody who wants to work get into a job that will give them pay and an upward mobility and opportunity to succeed. And one of the things we're seeing about having such a strong labor market recovery right now is we're seeing historic gains, not just overall, the largest decline in the unemployment rate in any recovery in recent history, but also record gains for blacks, record reduction in the unemployment rate. Hispanics, the largest reduction in the unemployment rate for Hispanics ever on record. So we're seeing that in the job market. We want to do more. A lot of that is about workplace training,
well, Brian, excuse me to jump in. I just want to nail down the point because you know this is important. As you know, and I'll repeat it, those with a college degree seem to be doing much, much better than those without. As you work out relief for the American people at the moment, why is there focus on $10,000 of student debt relief at a time when those people in America who do not have a college degree are getting squeezed by gas prices. Crude again this morning at 118. JP Morgan saying gas could hit $6 later this year. You know the people that's hitting the most. Many of those do not have a college degree. Why is this administration focused on doing something which, let's face it, might play well in the midterms, but ultimately isn't going to help those people that need the help the most right now?
Yeah, my point is we're focused on trying to help everybody, but to the question of those, and a lot of the steps that we are taking are going to help people who have less than a college degree. But when you look at the issue of student debt, there are tens of millions of Americans out there who are in the labor market and now may have gotten some college education or a college education, but are held back by the burden of having to pay, in some cases, extraordinarily high debt. So the question there is are there steps that we can take, prudent steps that we can take to try to help unlock economic opportunities for those families, while at the same time doing everything we can to help create a labor market that is creating dynamics like the one we're seeing now, where for the first time in a very long time, people without a college degree, people with some college degree are seeing economic opportunities to move into jobs with higher wages that they haven't in some time. We're also focused on trying to sustain that and continue that going forward.